haven't been live as much, but I've still been working behind the scenes, educating people about the importance of startup capital and why it's so critical to your ability to be able to build a seven-figure business. So I want to start with what we know, right? We know that it takes money to make money. If you understand that, go ahead and put me in the chat. We understand that it takes money to make money. It's something that we've heard probably all of our lives, and it's probably something that's going to be relevant from now until the end of time. And we've got to realize that the more we put into our businesses, the more we're going to get out. Now, don't get me wrong, I do understand that a lot of us don't have or don't think we have because that's perception. We don't think we have the money to invest in our businesses. And I'm going to be honest, up until not too long ago, I thought that it was up to us. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, make sure you share this broadcast because women, people in general, need to be able to know this. But there's so much money available nowadays for you to put into your business that it's unreal. And I just got word that Congress has voted to extend the PPP deadline for people to apply to May 31st, which is amazing, which is another reason you need to go ahead and share this broadcast so that people can know there's money available for you to build your business. You just got to know where to look. So with that being said, I'm going to start. I have a startup capital boot camp coming up where we're going to be for the course of a whole year. And you don't have to take the whole year. If you just want sponsorships, you can just take that piece. If you just want startup incubators, you can just take that piece. It just depends. If you just want the grant piece, you can just take that piece. But what everybody needs to realize is that there's money available for you to help you build your business. And no longer is it good enough for you to say, I can't afford. Because if you can't afford, you can't keep up. If you can't afford, you cannot keep up. And it's so unfortunate that many of us, we're quick to say we can't afford, but we don't know that there are resources out there. And if you're not a current client and you want to know more about how to get the capital you need, now keep in mind this is not a free education. It takes something to make something. But schedule your call at bit.ly/Black Girl Profits Call so you can learn more. But let's talk about it. So what would you do with 20K, 40K or more to invest in your business? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. What would you do with 20K, 30K, 40K? Because to be honest, that's the level of revenue it takes nowadays to really build a seven-figure business, if not more. If not more. I think people underestimate how much money and the things that you need to really grow your business. And that includes hiring a coach so you're not out there making decisions on your own. That includes improving your technology so that you're really competitive. That includes paid advertising and paid marketing campaigns. You're either going to market and advertise with sheer energy and effort, or you're going to pay. I want to talk about that real quick. How many of you are okay with going live 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day? Most of you are not. I can honestly say I've done it. I can honestly say it's difficult. I can honestly say at the time, I didn't feel as if I had a choice. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to let you guys answer in the chat. So, how many of you, because the question I always ask is if you could go to the ATM as many times a day as you could, and every time you go, you're able to withdraw something, how many times a day would you go? If you could answer that in the chat for me. So you don't have, you got unlimited access to go to the ATM. Now I can't tell you if you're gonna withdraw 10 or if you're gonna draw 20, you might withdraw 100, you might withdraw 1,000. See, you guys say that. Burdell said as many times. LaShawn said 3 to 5 times. Yvette said all day. Julie said 2 times. Come on, I want to hear some more answers in the chat. How many times would you go to the ATM if you could go as many times as possible? And every time you went, you could withdraw money. Ms. Gertrude said as much as needed. Shamarian said whenever there's a need or want. But you guys have a tool called social media and a specific tool called live streaming that when used correctly will get you money every time you use it, and yet you don't use it. I need somebody to say, wow. You guys have a free tool called social media that will allow you to post as many times as you want, make as many videos as you want, go live, posting your stories, posting your reels, but yet you won't do it. I want you to think about a McDonald's or a Starbucks and how many times a day that McDonald's or that Starbucks has a commercial running. If you don't have a commercial running for your business, just like that, how many times a day do you think McDonald's runs a commercial? Give me a number in the chat. LaShawn said 20. I'm gonna say depending on the market. They could probably run 100, 200 commercials a day in different markets, maybe even more. Can you keep up with that? The only way you can keep up with that is by creating an automated advertising campaign. And you got to have a marketing budget. You also have to be able to hire a team. So let's talk about the types of money that are available. Did you realize there are companies out there giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars to for-profits, not nonprofits, for-profits in the way of grants? How many of you knew that? Google is giving away money, Facebook, Visa, MasterCard. I'm trying to think of all the other places that have given away money. PayPal, Fiserv, Main Street, Comcast, all of them have given away money. How many of you knew that? Or how many of you did not know that? Say yes if you knew it. say no if you didn't. This is an interactive webinar, so this is not a wallflower show.
I expect it is a relief, Lady Setsy, giving up your regal responsibilities. Wearing the crown for so many years must have left your neck a bit crooked.
If you're unaware, it's probably because you're not part of this community. Because not only was my community aware, but many of them have gotten grants from Facebook. Many of them have gotten money from Google, PayPal. Shea Moisture did a giveaway. So a lot of what you know, a lot of what you don't know is dependent on who you spend your time with. How many of you knew that there is a $100,000 Essence grant out there right now? How many of you knew that?
Amusement here today. A royal wedding is not an amusement. A royal wedding is history. Time has come for all of us to come.
So the question becomes, do you have the knowledge you need to apply for that grant? Because it's not just the name. And now some of these grants, you just got to put your name in the hat. Some of these grants, you just got to put your name in the hat, and it doesn't take any time. You either win or you don't. FedEx just did a $50,000 grant contest. So some of these grants, you put your name in the hat, you either win or you don't. The other grants, you need to apply and you need to show yourself worthy of that grant. So what are some of the things you got to do? You got to have a pitch deck. You have to have a pitch video. You have to have a business plan. And then you got to complete the application. How many of you know how to do things like that? None of them are hard, but all of them are relevant as it relates to your ability to be able to get these grants. And that's something that my junior mentorship and my mentorship is going to be learning. I have a year-long startup capital boot camp. If you want more information, go to bit.ly/Black Girl Profits Call. And listen, if you set up a call with me, make your call, or I'm gonna ask my team not to set up another one, because everybody's time is their money. There's also sponsorship. Do you guys know what sponsorship is? Sponsorship is money from corporations to fund your endeavors in exchange for giving them a shout out. Best way for me to phrase it. Now, who do you guys know that does sponsorship? Name a corporation in the chat. You know that Ciroc does sponsorship for P. Diddy. You know Shaq does has a sponsorship agreement with the General. He has a sponsorship agreement with that back pain medicine. All of that is sponsorship. And what do you need to be able to get sponsorship dollars? You need a sponsorship deck. You need a list of potential sponsors. And you need a presentation. You also need an interest letter. Those are all things we're going to teach you in the Startup Capital Bootcamp. And we have over a list of 3,000 sponsors we're going to be sharing with the people that are in that Startup Capital Bootcamp. So you're not starting from scratch. You already have a list of potential people who may be interested in your product or service. And it doesn't stop. Everybody from the beer and wine and liquor companies to Nike and Skechers, clothing companies, to partners, department stores. Tiffany Haddish had one with Groupon. I mean, you name it. Samuel L. Jackson had one with Capital One. These are all sponsorships. And there's a lot of sponsorship money out there for regular people. But again, we're so busy saying what we don't have and we don't know where to look, that we're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Uncle, you can do my cup there.
Because we don't know the protocol. I call it death by paper cuts. A lot of businesses, because they're not set up to receive funding, they miss out. And I've seen so many businesses that even the PPP money that they're giving away right now, they don't know how to apply. They apply incorrectly, and then they miss out. I'm going to go back to what I asked originally, because I didn't see people respond. How would $20,000 help your business? How would $40,000 help your, how would $10,000, how would $5,000 help your business? I'm watching the chat because, again, this is not a coach show. This is supposed to be for engagement. But again, we don't know what we don't know. And so we say what we don't have. And instead of getting the necessary connections and the necessary knowledge to get it. So what other kind of sponsorships are there? There's what's called startup incubators. Does anybody know what a startup incubator is? A startup incubator is a partnership with a Fortune level company to help you get started. It's connections, knowledge, resources, and potential contracts. If you make products, handmade products, a startup incubator, Macy's has a startup incubator where they bring in minority women, minority businesses that make products, and show them how to get on the shelves in Macy's. AT&T has a startup incubator. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, a lot of the financial firms have startup incubators. Now, while you may not get money, don't you think it would help you to know who AT&T knows? Don't you think it would help you to get some of the knowledge about setting up your business, how to run a world-class organization, having access to their resources? So the other is crowdfunding. A lot of times when I think about GoFundMe, it makes me mad because I think about uh, all the people who want, oh, help me get some money for my funeral, help me go to college, help me this, help me that. But GoFundMe is more than just that. There are ways to run real crowdfunding campaigns where your community can help grow your business. Some other types of startup capital is venture capital and angel investors. How many of you have ever heard of venture capital and angel investors? Say me in the chat. Anybody? If you not, go ahead and say no. I don't know if y'all are catching this level of knowledge I'm putting on y'all, but I'm talking straight other people's money. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Because sometimes we're so far into trying to build out of our own pockets that we don't realize it's a whole world of money out there waiting. So what is venture capital and angel investors? This is compare to Shark Tank. This is companies that will give you money in exchange for a share of your company. So you may be that type that don't understand money for money. You may be like, well, I don't want to give them a percentage of my company in exchange for some money. But if you don't have the money necessary to scale your business, think about your business right now. And if somebody said, I'm going to give you $100,000 for 49% of your company, even if your company has the potential to do millions of dollars, you can't do millions of dollars until you get the money to scale. So they're not really saying, give me 49% of your company. They're saying, I'm going to give you $500,000 because if that $100,000 is going to help you make $1 million, and right now you only making 10,000, don't you think it's best to give up 49% of your company in order to be? But that's what an angel investor and venture capital is. They give you the money to help you play at that next level. Shark Tank is on TV, but there's tons of other venture capital angel investors, a lot of them strictly for women. And we're going to be helping you prepare your business for that in the Startup Capital Bootcamp. Another thing is business credit and personal credit. When you invest, when you use credit, whether it's business credit or personal credit to invest in your business, that is good money. That's good credit. When you use credit to buy furniture and things that don't pay you back, that's bad credit. That's bad money. I heard people talking about the SBA loan. And how they didn't want to get a loan. But I bet if I look through their life, they probably owe money on their car note. They probably owe money on their mortgage. They probably owe money on credit card debt. The average American family owes $10,000 worth of credit card debt. So guess what? At least with business credit, it's low interest. And I'm going to tell you again, you need money to compete. One thing that most people don't know is your business credit is not dependent upon your personal credit. You can have horrible personal credit and great business credit. Did you guys know that? Anybody, did you know that? You can have horrible personal credit and excellent business credit. Anybody else, did you know that? Yes or no? The problem is we don't have the time or take the time or discipline to build our business credit. And again, it's one of those things that it's just a paperwork game. So these, and then you got SBA loans and lines of credit. And again, this is good money. But do you know that they have SBA 504 loans to help you buy business property? We're so quick to go out there and try to do things on our own accord that what happens is we end up leasing what we could have bought the building. When are we going to stop being leasers and start being property owners?
Belongs to his grandmother. The last legacy of House Hollard.
So there's so many things, again, that we don't know about money. And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. We've got to stop saying, I can't afford. And we got to get to the place where we're in the right groups, in the right situations, to know that there's money available. Last but not least, women-owned, minority-owned business. Taking the necessary steps to work with other big companies to make more money. All of these things you have to prepare for. They don't just happen. And a lot of times we don't have the discipline to do it ourselves. So that's what this Startup Capital Bootcamp is about. It's a year-long program that helps you get your business ready to get that next level money. It's a real program. It's a real need. If you want to stop building your business out of your pocket, out of your leftovers, and be able to build your business out of knowledge, then this is definitely the program for you. We're going to kick off the first session April 22nd. If you're in my mentorship or my junior mentorship, you're already included. If you're in my membership, you need to upgrade in order to have access to this program. But it's worth it. And if you have questions or you want to schedule a call to talk about how you can get in this program, go to bit.ly/Black Girl Profits Call. It's critical you stop robbing Peter to pay Paul to build your business. The next place you'll see that, I'm going to use this information tonight to create an official Startup Capital Bootcamp so I can take people through this over the series of a few days so they have a better understanding of the different types of money that's available and why this is a great use of your time. So with that being said, I'm going to open it up for questions. And if not, I'm going to get out of here. Questions, comments?
So what makes a good king? Hmm?
Oh my
What
God.
is a good king's single most important quality?
Go ahead, LaShawn. You had a question?
Happiness?
Feel all the blessings will see it. Empire?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great.
That's good.
6-year-old boy.
I wanted to know when is the next PPP information class?
It is tomorrow night. We went to Friday's nights.
Okay. Because I have some questions. I know that I went through another company, so I'm not able to go through CJ this time around, but next time for sure. But I did have some questions to ask her.
If you got questions, you need to go to who you went through.
Okay.
Yes,
Reason why I'm
ma'am.
saying, yeah, the reason why I'm saying that is because the people that I went through, it's like miscommunication, like they do not communicate at all. So I'm like left in the dark. But I definitely understand what you're saying as well.
Yeah, Burdell, if you want, if you're in the Black Girl Coin and you need to upgrade to the startup capital, you need to schedule a call so we can talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, ma'am. Let me tell you,
Yes.
that's not as much an informational session as it is an opportunity for me to introduce people to CJ so that they can get a good source. It's
Right.
also a point where people can get updates from CJ about what's going on with their information.
Right.
Whoever you went through should have that same thing.
Right. It's just like every time I ask them a question, it's like they dance around my question and they just stop responding after a while. It's really like, I'm just trying to give it some more time. But yes, I wish I would have known about CJ before I did this. I did this back in, I want to say, the beginning of February.
Well, I think everybody's really waiting on the SBA.
Okay.
I'll tell you personally, my stuff hit a snag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody that's on round 2 that's
Right.
really gotten any money yet.
Right. Yeah, I'm on round 1.
Oh,
Yes.
girl, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's confusing, but yeah, I'll definitely call you so that way I can talk to you more about it.
Oh no, I was talking to Burdell talking about call me.
Oh,
I
okay.
can help you with your PPP.
Right. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was telling her to call me about the startup capital program.
Okay. All right. Well,
All right,
thank you.
you.
All right.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right, guys, be on the lookout for the Startup Capital Boot Camp. Hold on, let me. Yes, ma'am, Miss Rosemary.
How you doing, Coach? I want to ask you, when is the startup Capital Boot Camp? You said April 22nd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how do I get to that? Go to is it the Bitly?
You got to schedule a call, Black Girl Profits call.
Okay, but go to that link you just gave us?
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Profits? Okay, no problem. Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys, you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you guys in the morning.